Hi again, gang. I am here with Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition today, and it is designed by my good buddy Hermann Luttmann. This is from Victory Point Games. It is part of their Premier line, and you are going to see some things in this box that are going to surprise you from a Victory Point game release. And one of the reasons why I mention that is because Zeds has been on my radar since the 1st edition came out. Really loved it, really enjoyed it. 2nd edition came out. Loved the hell out of that one too. And it originally came out in a Ziploc bag, effectively. And Victory Point Games has come a long, long way. Because as you see, this is a pretty big box. And it is not packaged like most Victory Point Games releases. First of all, because it's in a standard gaming box. Dawn of the Zeds is obviously a zombie game, and it's for 1 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and you can play it in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on what level you play, as well as how many players you have in the game. And I am very, very excited to finally get a peek inside this. And I have had this for a while, but I've been on the road a lot. We were at San Diego Comic-Con, just got back from Gen Con. So this is the first time I'm actually getting a chance to crack this open. So let's see what we've got. So we got a little insert as far as, oh, that's right, Nemo's War should be coming soon. That's going to be pretty cool. And we have, amazingly enough, from my understanding, 5 different rule books in this. Now, these are the comprehensive rules. This is the basic game rule book, the Farmingdale dossier, the level up rule book, which are advanced rules as well, the setup, and epilogue book. I mean, you're probably sitting there thinking, my God, how many rule books could there possibly be for one game? But keep in mind, the way this has been designed is so that you learn how to play the basics, then you add some additional rules in, then you can make an advanced game, and then there's also levels to make this game very, very difficult to defeat. And that's one of the aspects from any edition of Dawn of the Zeds, is it's a challenging game. It is not a walk in the park. It's not easy. So we're not going to look through every one of the rule books. Oh my gosh, there's even another one. The No Brains rule book. We're just going to take a peek. Let's look at the comprehensive rule book real quick. So I'm taking a guess that's probably going to have just about everything from the rules. And just look, I mean, the artwork looks fantastic in this new edition. Gone are the old stapled paper rules that you would see in a Victory Point game. And the interesting thing is, Victory Point Games has always made really fun games. It's just the company wasn't on a lot of people's radars simply because of kind of the desktop publishing components. But the gameplay was always there. Now, Victory Point Games is releasing titles that are going to look fantastic on your game shelf, and you're going to want to get in front of your friends. It's just taking a look through, and it does look like these are really pretty in-depth as far as the rules covering everything. But it's pretty cool because what you do is you'll create the various different decks as you prepare to play, and you can start off where you're just, you know, learning how to move around, perform actions. It's not going to be super difficult to defeat the Zeds, or zombies. But yeah, it looks like we've got all the rules in this book here. So very, very cool. If you've never played Dawn of the Zeds, by all means, you have got to get this game. It is a blast. It's one of the top-rated games we've ever done on the Gaming Gang. And I'm sure this new edition is going to be no different. So we're going to take a look at some of the various different tokens and counters. We've got the Zeds here. Looks like some of the villains that were added to, I believe it was the second edition. I don't remember villains being in the first edition, but it's possible. May have been kind of an add-on expansion. We've got the heroes down here, more Zeds. The Super Zeds, it looks like those are these counters down here. Then we've got some of the refugees and survivors. Just going through that. And as you can see, these are nice, thick counters here. More of the heroes. Okay. And then we have a very nicely mounted map. Just going to kind of take a look through. There we go. Oh, and there's very nice. Nice little player aid here. No brains game mode. I'm taking a guess that's probably just the initial learning game. And we've got more player aids here. The game, the new edition, also allows for one player to kind of control the Zeds, control the zombies. So we've got a Zeds player aid. But of course, you can just play the game co-op against the various decks of cards too. So we've got the player aid here. And they have a nice finish to them too. It's not just paper. That's why you can kind of see a little sheen from the lights. Oh, and look at this. We now have a draw bag for the Zeds because you randomly will pull Zeds out. So some are stronger than others. Some can take more hits than others. So that's very cool. Look at that little draw bag. That's nice. I like that. And then we've got various decks of cards, which I'm going to take a peek at. Got some six-sided dice. Those of you who have been with Victory Point Games for a long, long time will remember that they used to come with a little itty-bitty die. Not anymore. Some good chunky dice. And look, we even have a little Zed head on it. Very cool. All right, so we've got the different decks. I'm going to bust these open, and we're going to take a peek inside. All right, so we're just going to put some of these decks here, and we'll start taking a look through. And first off, we're going to take a look at some of the bigger cards. And these bigger cards, usually they'll have characters or villains. Here we go, like anti-hero. Well, it's kind of a villain. Anti-civilians, anti-civilians, anti-hero, anti-hero. Come on, get us some good guys. There you go, heroic civilians. Now we get into the characters. Wilson the Hermit, Otto Sarge Hauser, Alan Zeno Jones, Alyssa Darling. And then, of course, on the back is some flavor text talking about it. More heroic civilians, scientists. There's loads of characters. There's loads of, I don't want to say NPCs, because a lot of times they're civilians or survivors that are fleeing the oncoming zombies, and they can help you out. So, for an example, the fire department, heroic civilians. And what will happen is these zombies will move across the map kind of through these tracks, and they're all kind of converging on the center of Farmingdale, which is the town that you're trying to save. And if they ever make it to the center of town, you lose. So I've got events. Once again, nice finish on the cards. And I'm not going to look at a whole lot of these events because, once again, I don't want to ruin the surprise. But you're going to see that you'll have color codes up on top, and that tells you kind of how to construct the deck, because you'll have like kind of an opening chapter to the game, and then things kind of ratchet up, and then everything hits the fan, and so on. In some of the more difficult levels, you'll use cards that you won't use in the earlier levels. So we're just flipping through a few. Local Zeds outbreak. So those are some of the events. Then here it looks like we've got some reference cards. So for the Super Zeds, which are pretty deadly, VIP Survivors, Bubba's Band, Refugees. Because there's a lot of moving parts in Dawn of the Zeds. So it's very nice that we've got these little unit references. And they're dual-sided too, with some of the various different units. So we've got those there. Then, let's see what we've got. You've got research, because there's an aspect of the game where you can be researching a way to stop the infection. You don't have to play with those rules, but that is an option. So we've got some research cards. Then we've got the Fate deck. Well, I'm going to guess these are all Fate cards. Yep. Let's take a look to see if more events. There we go. The way I like to explain the Fate cards, and you're not necessarily always going to be drawing a Fate card every turn, but with the Fate cards, a lot of times it's stuff that you've seen in different zombie movies. Oh my God, you see a loved one who's now a Zed, and maybe a character can't take it anymore. You forgot what? Tunnel ceiling collapses, bridge collapses, all these different things are in the Fate deck, and it really adds a ton of flavor to Dawn of the Zeds. Now the events of course do too, but the Fate just kind of makes you feel like you're playing a movie. So there are loads and loads of goodies in the new edition of Dawn of the Zeds, and of course, you know, I'll have a review of Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition pretty shortly, because thank goodness I don't necessarily have to be on the road 30 out of 31 days anymore. But that is what you're going to find inside the new 3rd edition of Dawn of the Zeds from Victory Point Games and my good buddy Hermann Luttmann. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. For all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV, cool stuff, be sure to get your geek on over at thegaminggang.com. And until next time, thanks for watching.